Urchfab. Today's video is just going to be a little update on the Mongrel. Going to make some towing eyes for the front and the rear. But before I start that, I've got some news which is going to make quite a big change to the videos and the channel, and that is that I'm moving out of the cow shed. I found another unit which is more of an industrial unit, and it's just going to be a much better place to work out of. The floor's flat, it's got really good lighting, it's got 3-phase electric, it's got CCTV, it's all gated, floor's flat, it's got nice white walls, floor's flat, it's got 3-phase electric, lighting's really good. It's similar sort of floor space, but it's narrower and longer. I think it's 6 meters wide, 18 meters long. I'll be able to get a proper 2-poster ramp in there, and with the 3-phase I can get a decent lathe and milling machine. I'm going to be moving into there end of May, get in there for like the 1st of June. So yeah, really looking forward to getting in there and getting it all set up. Not really looking forward to moving everything, because that's always hard work, and doesn't look like I've got that much stuff when I look around, but then when you actually go to move it, you realise that you do. But it's a good excuse to get rid of loads of crap that you haven't used for the past year, and try and whittle everything down a little bit. But yeah, enough talking, let's make some towing eyes. Alright, so I've filled these holes in where the jig was bolted to it. And then on this side, this is going to be an area that's going to need a bit of sort of filling, because this was the piece of 3mm that I put in, which connects to the extended chassis leg that I made. What I didn't want was the towing eye bolted directly to the paint. So these are some 5mm thick washers. They'll stick out from the like the painted edge, so that the towing eye won't actually touch the paint. You know, only on these areas, and then I don't have to worry about it cracking any paint or anything like that. Alright, so now I've got this bolted on. I'm wishing that I'd made it a lot like 20mm shorter, because it doesn't really need to stick out. I've got a cool little trick for shortening stuff like this, which I learned the other day. So you just get yourself a cut-off wheel, 20mm shorter. This is what we got for the front, so that will just weld onto the main bar structure. There we go, bolted in. Be nice and easy to take off. If I don't want it on there, I can just pull the grill out, 2 bolts in there, pull it out. Nice and straightforward. I've got my seat bracket things welded in, and then up the front here, this pedal box assembly, when you pressed on the brake, the whole pedal assembly would move around. I put the servo in and the clutch master on, thinking that would sort of stiffen it all up, but it didn't. It was, you could pull on the pedals and just flex this whole thing. So I just made a bracket to go from there, and then it connects up to the cage, and then another one on the other side, just to stop any flex. And that, there's no flex in it at all now, it's rock solid. So I made a cock up there, and I measured that. I measured it like that. Being a dumbass, instead of measuring it like that. So now that hole is that much too far that way, but I think I'll probably still get a nut on there and just be able to weld it in. So I'm going to weld that nut in there backwards, and I can just weld from the tube around onto the nut, and that'll hold that in there pretty good then. Didn't work out too bad. Saved it in the end. One of the last things left to do is just to make some brackets for the anti-roll bar, and all I really need to do is cut something that's going to bolt into here, and we can just weld straight onto this bottom bar. So that should be pretty straightforward. I got a tip on doing the slots for folding, to do a hole the thickness of the material each end, stop it splitting, or it's a treat. I just had to remake these 20mm shorter. I want to get the roll bar as high up as it can go and as close to sort of level as possible. So I brought it up so it's just clearing this bottom hose here. So these are just going to bolt onto here. I must interrupt this broadcast because the new Urch merch has just arrived. So all this stuff, I'm going to have a link to the shop below. This is all going to be available to buy now. So that's embroidered, like polo t-shirt. Super sweet. Man, I need a haircut. Got some bird's nests going on. So that's the embroidered Urchfab t-shirt if you're digging that. And then Urchfab hoodie, Urchfab embroidered beanie, loving the beanie. And then this is my favourite, just the embroidered hoodie, but these hoodies are really thick hoodies. You probably can't see in the video, but there's a lot of weight difference in the two. These are going to be 25 for the printed one. I think these are 29. All the prices include VAT as well, so I know how annoying it is when you buy something and then go through to pay and the price goes up. Just got a printed t-shirt. These are super premium Fruit of the Loom t-shirts. I've messed around with a load of different t-shirts for printing and stuff, and these ones, so you can wash the hell out of them, tumble dry them, and they don't shrink. Urchfabbed out to the max. Looking good. And I got some caps done, but not really happy with the actual hat itself, so these aren't going to be available just yet. Gonna get some more samples for the hats, and once we found a really good hat, I'll have caps as well. So what more do you need? Get over to the shop, buy yourself some merch, helps me out, keeps me making videos. I better keep the hat on until I get a haircut. Let's do some welding and burn some holes in my fresh hoodie. One thing I would recommend if you are working in these is to take the cord out or tuck it in your down your shirt, because if you get the end of that caught in a grinder, it might not be pretty. Alright, so what I've got to do now is measure this, make sure it's parallel with the front of the car and the rack and everything. And these are just going to weld straight on here, and that's it. Job's a good one. I've got all new drop links, new poly bushes. I need to paint the anti-roll bar, but I'm going to bolt it on there just to get the look in. Looks like I got the wrong size anti-roll bar bushes, so we'll have to stick the old ones back on for now. So I've got the wrong drop links as well. Those drop links might actually be for the back, not the front. That could be the issue. There we go, anti-roll bar all mounted. Got good clearance for everything. This is actually a bit further back than the sort of factory position, so it just gives that wheel a little bit more clearance here. So that's good. I really should have taken a measurement off the front of the engine to see if we've got enough clearance on the anti-roll bar. We're good. I've got a 22mm anti-roll bar and these are 18.5, so I'd say these are for a 20mm anti-roll bar. And then yeah, I need to check those drop links, see if they are for the rears. Alright, that's the front end all buttoned up. I think the next episode, episode 52, you should see this dropped on the floor on its wheels, because all I've got to do now, before it goes to paint, is bolt the rear suspension on, put some tyres on the wheels, and bolt the rear arches on. And then this will be rolling around on its wheels and we'll get to see it for the first time ever on its wheels. So that'll be cool. Forgot to mention the mugs as well. Got a couple of different designs for mugs. Yeah, all the money from that will be going into finishing this thing off. So link in the description, or you can go to my website urchfab.com and you can find it on there as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I've got some other videos coming up to fill in the gaps. So there'll be other stuff while you're waiting for the next episode of this thing. But that is going to be it for this one. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one.